A brand new Mario Tennis game was just announced in the mini Nintendo Direct, and in the trailer for it, there are actually many secrets hidden inside of it, and I'm going to be analyzing it for you in this video. What's going on, Siiroth here, bringing you a new Nintendo video, and today I'm going to be talking about Mario Tennis Aces, the brand new Mario Tennis game revealed to be coming to the Nintendo Switch. My video talking about the downfall of the Mario Sports series couldn't even survive a week because now it's already been disproven by Nintendo. However, I couldn't be happier to see a video of mine disproven like this because I've been waiting for a brand new Mario Sports game for a long time that has actually had a story mode, and this one is it. Now, while I would have much preferred a brand new baseball game or a strikers game, this Mario Tennis announcement is really good because the footage of its story mode that we've seen within this trailer reminds me a lot of the campaign within Mario Super Sluggers, which I really enjoy, but I'm going to get more into that as I get further into the analysis of this video. So let's start at the beginning of the trailer. So the trailer opens by showing the generic stadium of the game, and despite being the normal stadium for this game, which you would normally expect to just have some generic elements to it and be rather basic as a whole, this one looks really cool. We actually get more information about the location of this stadium in the story mode map later on in the trailer, so let's just keep going. As we see Mario run into the crowd of people with his tennis racket, you can definitely tell that there is a distinct style of tennis gear for this game that is much different than we have seen in previous installments in the series. The characters aren't wearing their natural gear anymore, they are wearing gear that is actually tennis inspired gear, which is really cool. Now, I have a feeling that this stadium is going to be Mario's. Now, I know in Mario Super Sluggers, for example, the generic stadium was called Mario Stadium, and normally the generic stadiums in Mario sports games are just based off of Mario, and then the more unique ones are based off of other characters, but we could sort of confirm that this one is based off of Mario, considering that there are Mario banners hanging off of the ceiling in this building. And for most sports stadiums, the home team's flags are normally hung off of the ceiling, so this would imply that Mario is the home team or home character for this stadium. This is just a small detail, but I love the referee toads behind the tennis court. This is absolutely amazing. Oh, and I really like the detail of there's a tiebreaker going on and it has this little graphic behind them. It really adds to the pressure of the gameplay. In the next little clip, we get confirmation that Luigi, Wario, and Waluigi will all be playable characters in this game. Waluigi is especially significant because I think this is the first time that we've seen him without his cap, or at least the first time that I can remember, and his hair looks absolutely incredible. When a tennis match is started, a graphic is displayed showing both names of the competitors within the game. Lakitu is probably who's going to be tossing you the items within the tennis match, as he is on the left of the court, and Toad, as with Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, is on the right side of the court, being the judge for the game. Now, as the actual Mario Tennis gameplay begins, we can actually tell that in the upper corners of the screen, there are circles with a green bar. Now, I've heard two ideas thrown around for what these could represent. They could represent a meter that's like a stamina meter, and when the circle becomes complete, the character will use a special move, or they could be some sort of health bar that decreases when your racket is knocked out of your hand, which is a new feature introduced for the game that I'll talk about later on because it was actually revealed later on in the trailer. We can also tell that the feature of showing where your ball will land does return for this Mario Tennis title. But now we get into my favorite part of this Mario Tennis title. Up until now, it just seems like a regular Mario Tennis game, but now the story mode has been introduced. I believe that this will be the overworld for the story mode for this game, and we could actually tell the location of this Mario Stadium that we just saw gameplay of is near the bottom of the screen, and then you will travel up to a rocky canyon area and a jungle area of sorts, as we'll see in the next gameplay clip. But there's also some mountain peaks behind the rocky area, so will that be a place that we'll be able to play in? I mean, it has some snow on top of it, so it would be a unique setting being a frozen area. And this little part right here just makes me even more certain of my theory that the story mode for this game will be very similar to that of Mario Super Slugger's story mode, just in the way that Mario travels from stadium to stadium in an overworld setting he's completely not in scale with the stadium whatsoever. And if it was an actual RPG story, I think that Mario would be more in scale with the stadium, but I'm definitely not expecting an RPG story for a Mario sports game. I think that anyone who expects something like that obviously doesn't really know much about what Mario sports games are about, because historically we've never gotten anything like that, and I think that the greatest Mario sports titles that we've gotten haven't really needed something like that. So just a little campaign is a great diversion, a great offset from the regular Mario Tennis gameplay, because it spices it up with boss battles, as we'll see in a little bit, and some other cool mini games included in there. And it's not just some bare bones gameplay like we got in Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, which has a couple of features, only one stadium to play in, and has some online play, but because there's no substance there, there's no little campaign to keep you going and unlock some characters within, there's no real enjoyment in the single player aspects of the game. You have to play some multiplayer modes to get any depth out of it. The next scene actually shows a new court. Oh my goodness, this is the first time that we've had one in 10 years. Mario is playing against Donkey Kong in this one, which confirms the 5th playable character of this game, and the score is actually displayed in the bottom left this time with Mario's icon, suggesting that he is the server. And the two characters also appear to be at different levels of stamina. I really like the setting of this location as well. I like the jungle aspects about it. It really differentiates what we've gotten in Ultra Smash, which is just an arena. I'll stop complaining about Ultra Smash now. It actually includes the Bitty Bud enemies, which I think is pretty interesting. They're nice spectators for the game. But in my opinion, the most significant aspect about this when it comes to Mario characters and whatnot is this pink Yoshi that is judging the game. Does this mean that Yoshi won't be a main playable character in the Mario Tennis game? I think it's possible that that's the case. However, what I think is more likely is that the regular color of Yoshi will be a playable character option, and this Yoshi will just be there to judge, because there are multiple species of Yoshi, and we've seen with Toad in the past, despite the fact that Toad is normally the judge in Mario Tennis titles, Toad also gets a playable character appearance in the games. So I don't really think that this Yoshi will affect the regular Yoshi too much. However, it is something to think about when considering the roster of the game. The next scene is actually really cool. It shows an enemy battle between Mario and these piranha plants, showing that some mini games and boss battles within this story mode won't just be Mario against another character, but it could be against a barrage of famous enemies from the series. Now in the top left, you can see Mario's bar, which has gotten to the full circle and it's actually glowing, suggesting that Mario could potentially use his special move now, or it means he's at full health. Let me know which one you think it is in the comment section down below. It appears that this fight with the enemies actually requires you to knock out the piranha plants, as we can see Mario knocks out one by hitting it with the ball right there. It could possibly test your direction for hitting the ball and where your aim is at when you return the ball back, because that would be a pretty interesting exercise. I don't know if it auto-focuses or not. And oh man, now we get Petey Piranha. Instead of being a main playable character like he is in some other Mario sports titles, Petey Piranha is seen as a boss in this game, and I definitely think he's going to be boss exclusive, because in some Mario sports titles, bosses don't end up being regular playable characters, and I think that's a good thing in certain ways, because it really makes their boss fight more valuable. And to actually see how they play in the main gameplay, you're gonna have to go through the campaign, even though it might not be what you're really interested in for these types of titles. Whether it becomes a main playable character or not, it's always fun to see Petey Piranha included. And now let's just touch on the terrain for a second here. This is the third court that we've seen, and I'm unsure as to whether or not this court is just exclusively a boss court where you'll face Petey Piranha in, or it'll be a main court that you'll be able to use whenever you want. Another thought is that Petey Piranha will be a main playable character, and you'll unlock him as well as this court when you beat his boss in the main gameplay. Of course, I would think that characters like Bowser will have a boss fight in the campaign, but will also be playable, because you have to have Bowser playable. He's the main Mario antagonist. The last section of this trailer is really interesting because it introduces a new feature to the Mario Tennis series. From the game's title, Mario Tennis Aces, you would expect that aces, being an element of tennis, would be a primary focus of this game. However, I think it's more along the lines of spiking the shot in a similar way to the ace, considering that this last scene featuring Mario dueling Wario in a round of tennis features Mario spiking the ball hard at Wario, and it actually knocks the racket out of his hand. This could just be for aesthetics, or it could be a main feature in the gameplay, like I mentioned, reducing Wario's health in some way, or hindering his abilities in the main gameplay. Or if you knock out the racket of your opponent's hand, it'll be an automatic point towards you, as they'll have no opportunity to return the ball. And the very last detail that we get is that this game will be available in the spring, which is very interesting. You would normally expect for a Mario spin-off title that it would be a small gap between reveal and release. I was expecting that if a Mario Party game were to be revealed anytime soon, I talked about this in my 2018 games predictions video, that it would be a close reveal to release period, because that's the pattern that we've gotten for Mario Party games. I never really studied too much about that when it came to Mario sports titles, but that definitely seems to be a realistic idea for these types of games. Mario Tennis Ultra Smash was revealed at E3 2015 and then released November, but that also concerns me because that short reveal to release period seemed to be rushing Mario Tennis Ultra Smash to be the main holiday driver for sales for 2015, and perhaps that this game might not have been worked on as long as a polished Mario title would have been. So this game might be lacking in content. That's definitely a concern. However, I definitely have much more faith in this one because of the reveal of a story mode, and it's not being revealed in the holiday, so there's not as much pressure to get it out very fast. This game could easily be delayed, unlike Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, which couldn't have much of a delay because it would push it into 2016, which would be past the holiday season, which wouldn't be good for sales. The spring release period of this game doesn't really have too much of an impact on sales. So I think that this game will be much better than the recent Mario Tennis title that we've experienced. I really hope that it disproves my death of the Mario sports games video, because I love the Mario sports games, and it was difficult to make that video because that's the reality of things, and at least until this mini Nintendo Direct, which revealed the Mario Tennis Aces title coming to the Switch. I do have plans to create many more videos about this game, so remember to subscribe and tick the bell icon so you do not miss the future videos about this game that are going to be coming very soon. I plan on talking about characters that I want, stages that I want, and so much more. I'm sure you'll be really interested if you enjoyed this video. Check out the previous Nintendo Switch videos, and I'll see you next time.